come to the bold analysis. Winnie Odinga is saying the broad-based relationship could only be trusted on Raila Odinga. And it is high time that the party considers calling an urgent NDC to go back to the people so that the people can decide the way forward. This is a clear red card that Winnie Odinga is also issuing on the party leader, Oburu Odinga. No one has scared Ruto's gatekeepers in ODM like Winnie Odinga. The girl, she's fire. She has demanded that urgent NDC meeting, and in simple terms, Winnie has told her uncle Oburu Odinga and the entire ODM current officials that the positions they are holding are illegitimate. She rocked the boat yesterday by saying that those who want to sell the party to Ruto, they have no way. You could have seen how the pro-broad-based leaders were shaking like a leaf, if you allow me to use Rigathi's language. Their dilemma is that while they can respond to Sifuna, they can respond to Bamboo, they can't dare touch Winnie. And an attempt by Robert Alai to touch Winnie has backfired. Thank you guys first for supporting this channel. We do this each and every day because of your support. And this is a snippet of our successful event project we did in Migori, where we built 2 houses for Bildad and the children.
Gichuko Migori, gitioge ball.
Na mimi ndio nasimamia side ya community.
Ene muchung korkalemo mar loso gikmoke gwen.
Yes, mimi ndio na make sure tukifika hapa naangalia zile vitu ambazo tunaweza saidia, naweza kuziandika, ndio tunaenda tuna discuss, alafu tunajua nani tutaweza kumsaidia.
Ene muchunga lemo ni kagigi kamoro tondiko gikmoko ong'iyo ni to ang'o madwarore kanyo ang'o mok dwarre.
Na itakubuta sana kukuja kusaidia builder.
Gimano ywayo gik matek kabisa
Ni vitu mbili.
Gin gik moko ariyo.
Kitu ya kwanza ni mtu anajituma sana. Hata kwa ile video tulitumiwa, yeye alikuwa analima mahali tu hapa. Na hiyo kitu ikatuonyesha hata kwa ile hali yako pia anaweza kujituma ku make sure watoto wake wamekula, ile kidogo anapata anaweza ku make sure familia yake inasonga.
Gimano nitie picha moro mago gi nyithindo ariyo gi.
Kuna picha ile amepiga na hao wadogo, huyu msichana na huyu the youngest.
Kama ne gisweta moro makao yech.
Ni kama alikuwa na hii jasi ile mararuka sana.
Ene Facebook.
Iko kwa Facebook.
Nyithindo gi chiemo no riembi.
Watoto wake pia siku moja walifukuzwa kwa shule.
Dio gigi kaja to giro ka wheelchair manana go mokwongo agora go piny ka.
Walipofika pale walipata kama ile first wheelchair naye ilibomoka siku hiyo.
To gimaka mondo gitinga ma.
Walijaribu kuimuinua juu.
Gino momiyo koro kawuono nyithindo gi rwakore ka girwakore no.
Hata Mungu aliona hiyo mpaka
kadipo kantie moro man gi wach.
Kama kuna yeyote hawa katika
wanyalo kamano na
wanaweza kusema ni thanks kidogo tu
ikatie kikao kamiu.
Ndio.
The fact that Mbadi, Wandai or Paranya are all arguing with Winnie over the fate of ODM party because their sole interest is to protect their cabinet positions with Ruto is very regrettable. Allow me to play for you the soundbite of Winnie saying that only Raila Odinga was trusted and could be trusted by that broad-based deal. Any other person that is purporting to broke that broad-based deal cannot be trusted.
Leader, there was something that I wanted to tell you. When it came to the matter of this broad-based government. The people of ODM entrusted one person with the management of that relationship. And that person was Baba Raila Odinga. That relationship is complicated. And therefore, we are looking and we are wondering, those that are taking it upon themselves to manage it now, are they capable of managing that relationship? I don't think that is a question for me to answer. That is a question for the people of ODM to answer. And party leader is why I'm requesting we need to go back to the people and have an NDC and see who the people want to pick to manage that same relationship. Kwa hayo mengi na machache, asanteni.
This is what Winnie is saying. And Winnie has sent panic. This is after she made another statement yesterday saying that the party was built from protests. People lost lives. And that party cannot be auctioned like pillow games. She was simply saying that people will not sit in a bedroom somewhere and decide the fate of that party. Robert Alai is the person that has been sent by Deep State and is stopping at nothing. This is what she's saying on Winnie. He's saying on Winnie. Winnie Odinga doesn't have the political experience to give anyone direction in ODM. She isn't even a party official. The fact that you are a daughter to Baba Raila Odinga doesn't give you the right to insult female leaders in ODM that they are sleeping with Ruto to sell the party in bedrooms. Your claim to the throne is because of the bloodline and not because of any unique thing you have done. Shameful to see you insult fellow women leaders. This is what the narrative that the state sympathizers, the broad-based battalion, were curating, trying to profile Winnie. That by Winnie saying that the party will not be auctioned in bedrooms, that Winnie is abusing women leaders in the party. And at that, Millie Odinga has responded to him, warning him against attacking Winnie.
Na la mwisho ningetaka kuonya. Kuna mtu nimeona ameattack Winnie Odinga. Mimi kama mtetezi ya wamama, I want to say this, whether it is a lie or whatever the name is. Nimeona you like harassing women. But where Millie Odinga is, we will deal with you head on. You will not touch. Hey, you not wacha kunimbia asante. Where Winnie Odinga is concerned, that is the heart of Baba. And it is against Luo culture to attack a person who is still mourning. Sai umeona kama tunaona picha ya Baba hata Winnie amelia. And then you are attacking her. I want to tell you a lie. You attack Winnie Odinga, you attack Millie Odinga na wamama wa ODM. Asanteni sana. Let Baba rest in peace.
Asante Madam Whip, tuko hapa na kiongozi.
I can tell you that that is dead on arrival. Attacking Winnie is dead on arrival. And I honestly don't understand what is Alai's business, what is so much with him that he's attacking Winnie for. This is what Millie is saying. Robert Alai, you are used to attacking women and getting away with it. Winnie Odinga did not attack Governor Gladys Wanga, and so quit trying to pit one against the other. You are in fact one of the implicitly attacking Wanga. I can assure you, my brother, I can be equally petty when it comes to defending women. It is exactly 1 month since Winnie lost her dad. It is uncouth and uncultured to attack her. But then again, why would I expect you to understand? Bring it on. I'm waiting. I think attack on Winnie is regrettable. And what is more, for me, what is actually more astonishing on all this is Winnie is saying things that so many people have been saying. Opinions have been divided. There are people who have said ODM belongs to the people. She's not the first person who said it. Even Ruth Odinga said it. She was not profiled. By the mere fact that Winnie is a young person coming up and putting up a voice on this, and if you want to understand, you want to underestimate Winnie. If you want to underestimate what Winnie is saying, then maybe you need to listen to what Raila Jr. is saying here.
2027 mwenye atakuwa president itakuwa juu ya hii party ODM. Ya mwisho ningetaka kusema congratulations kwa uncle kwa saizi yendo mkubwa. Pale nyumbani, mimi ni mkubwa wa nyumbani. Na sitaki watu waanze. Ngoja kwanza nianzie tena. Kuna hao maorphans. Hao maorphans, I hope Mheshimiwa Junet umewakusanya. Daktari ni wa politics. Hizo mambo yote ingine, sijui kuku yangu imepotea na mgeni, sijui nini, hizo zingine zote domestics zikuje kwangu nyumbani.
I think Odinga family, there is something I said, and guys, I'll start making my podcast look boring, but I like repeating because the things I said are being vindicated. If you watch this podcast, there is a statement I made here that you cannot entrust anyone with Raila legacy except Mama Ida. How many of you remember that video? That video is in this podcast. I said it. And in that one, I was saying that Mama Ida needs to come in the picture. The presence of Winnie and Raila Jr. is vindicating what I said. And what Winnie is saying, that you cannot trust anyone with that broad-based deal except the people, has confirmed what I said, that you cannot entrust anyone here with Raila legacy. Remember, even Oburu was present. Oburu's son, Joho Odinga, was present in that meeting. And people, I've captured a video from a response from Joho. I've singled it out.
For the first time in my political life, and I have been around for around 20 plus years, I am coming to a national event. I am coming to a national event that my leader, Raila Amolo Odinga, is not with us. So I must confess, we are here celebrating his legacy, but I do not know whether I am happy or whether I am sad. But let me tell you, hii chama ya ODM, for some of us, as much as I look young the way I look, I am a founding member of ODM. And I must also say here today, I defended my party kwa damu, kwa nguvu, kwa hali, kwa amali, kama ni noma, kama ni mbaya. It must be known here today, ODM is what it is because some of us tulijitolea kama ilikuwa mbaya. Mimi sijashikwa kama waamilifu. The only few times I was harassed by the police, it was because of ODM. The only time risasi ilinikosa, it is because of supporting Raila Amolo Odinga. Ama mujui hiyo. Ama mujui hiyo? Ama mujui hiyo? And some of us joined the party ODM because we believe one day, even us from the region here, hapa jimbo la Pwani, hata mimi, I know one day I would have the ambitions to be the president of the Republic of Kenya through ODM. And it is important that we defend the party. Tumeelewana? It is important that we defend the what? The party. Na mimi nawaambia msifikirie mtatoa chambo. Msifikirie mtatoa kafara. Nawaambia msifikirie mtatoa kafara. Msifikirie mtatoa chambo. Sisi wengine damu yetu ni moto. Ukileta twaleta. Ukija tunakuja. Ukitukujia tunakukujia. Ukileta noma noma. Ukileta mbaya mbaya. Tuelewane namna hiyo. I did not sacrifice my life for nothing to follow the party ODM. Jamani, nataka niwaambie, mimi sijawahi kufuata mtu mwingine. Mimi sijawahi kufuata chama chengine. In my 20s, I joined a movement that was led by Raila, Amolo, and none. Let me say it here today. Mkinifukuza nitawafukuza. Mkinikujia nitawakujia. Kikiharibika kiharibike. Kama ni mbaya mbaya. Kama ni noma noma. Ama namna gani? Ama namna gani? Hatuwezi kuwa sacrificial lamb. Huwezi kututumia unavyotaka alafu ututupe. Inawezekana hiyo? Inawezekana hiyo? Wacha niwakaribisha mandugu zangu ma-expert.
Joho seemed to say, I want you to listen to this video, this response by Joho, so that, because it's closely attached to this discussion of who to entrust, or rather the interest that people invest in ODM. It is indeed true, from what Joho is saying, that they invested in that party. That their money was spent there. They funded Raila Odinga campaigns. They did everything for that party. Now, if I interpret what Joho is saying, he seemed to be entitled that because I have invested in this party, I have a stake in this party, I am entitled to use this party as the bargaining chip for my cabinet slot. Two interpretations of that is interpretation one. Interpretation two is also simply saying that being that I went to cabinet through ODM and this is the party that brought me, President Ruto cannot throw me in the dust. But outweigh those two arguments, I go with the first one. Joho feels that the people that are the overrunning narrative is we are not going to support Ruto now. And you know, their interest is because we fought for this party, we must benefit in this party. Now, when you listen to Mbadi, it is very ugly and shameful. I'm trying to get other words to use. For Mbadi, the CS or Paranya and Wandai to fly to Mombasa to argue with Winnie on this issue of broad base.
It is true, it was built in the streets. This party was built on the foundation of civil liberty and democracy. But I want to say that there is one thing that I learned from Raila Odinga, that as you apply one strategy, you must blend it with another strategy. We have the strategy of going to the streets when things are bad, and we must go to the streets when things are bad. But Raila taught us one virtue, that there is also value in having discussion and a dialogue in boardrooms. Can I say this? For the people of Kenya to get independence, for the people of Kenya to get independence, they went to the streets,
They fought with Wazungu, but finally they also went to Lancaster Conference and sat in boardroom and negotiated independence for Kenya. Just allow me 1 more minute, please. The people of Kenya, for us to get a new constitution, people shed blood, people protested, we were beaten in the streets, but finally we went to Bomas of Kenya, we went to Naivasha, we went to Kilifi and produced the constitution that we have today. And therefore I want to speak to the people of ODM that you must respect your leaders, but we must also accept that Raila taught us to go to the street when it is necessary and go to the boardroom when it is necessary. My last comment, I read the book of Corinthians when Paulo spoke to the people of Corinthians, 1 Corinthians 13 verses 11, and he said that when I was a child, I thought like a child, I behaved like a child, I reasoned like a child, I acted like a child, but when I grew up, I left all my childhood life and started living like an adult. Asanteni sana, Mungu awabariki, long live ODM, long live Kenya, long live wananchi. Asanteni sana.
Haya wana ODM oye! ODM oye! Mimi nataka nishukuru waanzilishi wa chama cha ODM wakiongozwa na Baba Raila Amolo Odinga. Baba Raila Amolo Odinga alikuwa mtu wa kuunganisha wananchi na wanachama wa ODM. Ningependa wale viongozi wa chama ambao wamebaki waendelee kuunganisha wanachama na Wakenya wengine. La pili, political parties, lengo kubwa la chama cha kisiasa chochote ni kuunda serikali au kuchukua hatamu wa uongozi wa nchi. Ndio sababu mimi naunga ile uamuzi wa chama cha ODM ya kufanya kazi pamoja na chama cha UDA. Lazima wanachama wa ODM wafanye kazi na Wakenya wengine ili tusongeshe nchi mbele. Asanteni sana, Mwenyezi Mungu awabariki.
Asanteni sana, mnisikia hata ni sawa. Hello, mimi kwa majina naitwa School Beatrice. Mimi ni mmoja wale watu baba aliona vyema waingia kwa serikali. Kwa sababu ya baba kuongea, na mimi naomba sana Mungu atupatie busara. Kama watu wa ODM tuko Kenya mzima. Na kukua kwa Kenya mzima ilikuwa kwa maadili ambayo baba alikuwa anafanya. Baba alikuwa anasikia watu wote. Watu wanawake, vijana, wazee, pamoja na hata wale watu walikuwa kwa opposition. Baba alikuwa anawaangalia. Kwa hivyo ni hoja zetu kwamba wacha yale baba alitupatia iwe lengo letu katika maisha. Wacha tuheshimiane, wacha tuongee, wacha tusemezane, wacha tupatiane mawaidha. Kwa sababu tusipofanya hivyo mambo mengi yataharibika na hatutaki kwenda huo mkondo. Hata sisi wenye mnasema tuko broad based. Sisi tuliingia kwa utaratibu wa chama ya ODM na chama cha UDA. Bado kuna wale wako nje wakiwa bado watu wa ODM, baba akiwa ndani. Nakumbuka juzi tukiwa KICC, mliandika utaratibu ya 10 point yenye ODM pamoja na UDA walitakana waelewane. Kwa hivyo kwa haya yote baba alitekeleza na hakuna siku mtu aliongea kinyume wakati baba alikuwa. So kwa Amen. Hello, kwa hivyo kenye kiko kwa mambo haya yote yenye tunaiongelea wananchi tukufu wa ODM, baba amekuwa akihusika. Kwa mambo ya utaratibu wa UDA na ODM baba alikuwa anahusika. Sisi kuingia broad based baba alikuwa anahusika. Na hata yale mengine ambayo tutapangia baba bado atakuwa anahusika. Kwa sababu ya ile hekima na sisi tumebaki. Wacha tu Mungu atupatie busara, tuheshimiane, tuelewane, tusemezane. Kwa hayo tutakutana tu, kila mtu anasema ametoka na sisi wote ni wana ODM, tuna siku tutachangia. Asante.
ODM. Mimi mwenyewe vile mnajua, mimi ni mmoja wapo waanzilishi wa hii chama. Na leo nina huzuni mwingi kwa sababu Siku ya leo ni siku kubwa ya chama chetu cha ODM. Na siku hii tunasherekea kama baba yetu hayuko, baba Raila Amolo Odinga. Hii ni huzuni mwingi kwa watu wa ODM na kwa watu wa wananchi wote. Pili, mimi nikiwa mwanzilishi nataka niombe watu wa ODM mpaki pamoja. ODM must be a national party. ODM iwe chama ya kitaifa ndio tuweze kuendelea mbele. Sisi ambao tumeingia broad base, tuliingia broad base na agenda 10. Wale ambao ni viongozi wa ODM, they must make sure those 10 points are implemented to the letter. Asanteni.
It is indeed true that yes, the party was formed by protest. But one thing I don't understand here is this. This narrative that we are all going to fight forever. We now must join government. There is no justification for it, because I want you to listen to these fellows, these speeches first. Now, I want to respond to Mbadi. Even Raila Odinga used to go to the streets, used to fight for the people, but ikifika election, he presents himself for consideration, and the people of Kenya voted for him, believing on what he believed for, what he stood for. Raila's social transformation, equity, justice, electoral reforms, and fairness and justice, those were his pillars. So when he presented his candidature for the people of Kenya, he had a platform of arguing his case. ODM has a rider. The broad-based people have put a rider here that, you know, we don't have a candidate, so we are not going to have a presidential candidate. I want to ask at this point, what do Mbadi, Joho, and the rest, Mbadi, Joho, Wandai, or Paranya, what do they want ODM to stand for? Let us get it. Because it's two-way. If you believe what ODM was built for on the soil, people lost lives. When people asking for social justice, if you believe it is time to talk, of course, yes. But I want to ask Mbadi, is this the time to talk to Ruto? No? This is the time for ODM using their value, keeping their value of accountability, justice, equity, fairness, to ensure that the 10-point agenda agreed with President Ruto is implemented. That is why Osotsi was saying that when a document was brought to Raila to sign, Raila refused and said he wants a pro-people document. The reason why Raila was signing that 10-point agenda was to ensure that party's value is well ensured, that it doesn't just sign off, we are in government. If it was just simple as we're in government, why was Raila going for the 10-point agenda? So the dishonest experts must be told the truth. They should not be allowed to mutilate the values of the party at the altar of keeping their cabinet positions. And let me also look at it. You know what's happening? I don't know who is lying to Mbadi that if ODM is to renegotiate a power sharing deal with Ruto now, that he must be the treasury CS. He must not. There are more other people out here who can even take those positions. So the rush to mutilate, they don't want party to talk about its values. What they want the party to say is Ruto tosha. Because by that, they continue serving as cabinet secretaries, and by that, they think that they will go to Ruto and say, we successfully brought the party, and so you are re-elected, so appoint us back. The day Mbadi will beg Ruto for a cabinet slot simply because that cabinet slot was donated by Raila is the way the day Mbadis will understand that they're not trading careful. Ruto has captured ODM gatekeepers off guard. This is Junet playing some reverse psychology, saying the way we need to respect Raila family. And when Millie Odinga was calling out Robert a lie, he was trying to stop Millie Odinga from talking. This is Junet. We will tell party adherents what it is, what it really means. But I want to tell you why what Winnie has been saying is not out of the box. Opinions have always been divided. Sifuna has always said, I don't know broad-based. I don't know that thing. It is not there. Let's look to the 10-point agenda. There are those and Wanga who have been saying, we support Ruto in 2027, like Atandi have been saying, we don't have a presidential candidate, we need to support Ruto. Now, when Ruto weighs in that and says, and she's not the only person who is saying the party is not going to be sold. So many other people have said that. But why is she being picked and being profiled? It's because of this. Winnie Odinga was Raila's favorite, and I might say this, that attacking Winnie to their orchestrators of that, it is convenient to look good for President Ruto. But in the near future, they are making Winnie a person that they know that the masses will identify with Winnie Odinga. I know for sure that even by the time Raila was alive, there's nowhere Winnie appeared to say, I support broad-based. And maybe she differed with the father on that. She's Raila's favorite. She was Raila's favorite. And the ODM supporters know it, know her. I think Raila really prepared her. In 2017, she was not in the picture. By Raila bringing her in the 2022 campaigns, Raila was preparing her and handed Winnie over to the ODM supporters. And these people know that. The second threat is that Winnie is a young person. And his message resonates with what the young people of this country are saying. When they're saying this party was built on streets and people have lost lives, people have lost lives indeed. And young people understand it. So because this message resonates with the young people, the broad-based men feel threatened. And that's why they've picked her. But they picked the wrong fight. Because you know what? You know Robert Raila is attacking Winnie now. Tomorrow, it will be Mama Ida. Will you attack Mama Ida? Will you attack Mama Ida? Yes, it is probably not convenient because it is Winnie. So Winnie is some young person like you. Tomorrow, what Winnie is saying is what Mama Ida is saying. Winnie is speaking my Ida mind. Let me tell you. Do you want to tell me Winnie, Junior, Ruth, Oburu? All these people are speaking their own idea different from what Mama Ida is saying. So the Odinga seem to have decided that they're not going that direction of singing the present worship team. I'm so sure at the moment, even President Ruto might plan to meet some members of Raila family. Might Raila family there, consult with them, might even approach them for some cabinet position. I'm very sure. But of course, the cabinet positions are almost obsolete. They will be rendered redundant by next year. By next year, everyone is looking at 2027. They captured Oburu Odinga, but it seems Raila family is against it. And I think Raila family has realized, I think by the rush to appoint Oburu as the party leader, even before Raila arrived here, I always said that decision was rushed. To Mama Ida, Winnie was supposed to be the party leader. I don't know if anything wrong with that. Probably. Unajua kuna nyumba ya Raila na kuna nyumba ya Oburu. And that played out because even when Winnie was talking, Winnie passed a red card on Oburu, the uncle. So, and this could be playing out clearly that even according to Mama Ida, Ruto team pushed Oburu, and maybe they have wind of Oburu is simply oscillating on the side of President Ruto, but doesn't want to make it public. And maybe they thought by capturing Oburu, they will probably get their way with it. But Winnie coming at this point is oozing some sobriety, and Winnie is weighing a threat on Nairobi politicians. This is something that some people are not comfortable with. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Let's meet in the next. I have an interesting analysis on the party leader position, so wait and see. Thank you.